amidst the brackish waters of the vast, secretive delta, where the sun dipped into the horizon, painting the skies with hues of orange and purple. There existed a place like no other. It was a market that floated on the gentle undulations of the water, a place whispered about only in the most hushed of tones. It was said that here, at the floating market of memories, one could trade the burdens of their past for the lightness of joy. Emma had heard the legend from her grandmother, who spoke of it as if it were a place of both magic and mystery, a sanctuary for the weary heart. As Emma guided her small boat through the winding waterways, the sounds of the jungle surrounding her were a symphony of life. Birds chirped in vibrant melody, the rustle of leaves whispered secrets, and the distant croak of frogs punctuated the atmosphere. She had come far, driven by a longing to forget the sorrow that had shadowed her heart for too long. The entrance to the market was marked by a wooden archway, weathered and entwined with flowering vines that seemed to sway in greeting. Beyond it, the market bustled with people, some locals, others travelers like her, drawn by the promise of solace. Boats of all shapes and sizes bobbed gently against the wooden platforms, tied with ropes that seemed to hum with the stories they had heard over the years. As Emma stepped ashore, she felt a curious mix of excitement and trepidation. The air was thick with the mingling scents of spices, exotic fruits, and the faint hint of aged wood. Vendors calling out their wares, their voices mingling in a melody of languages, laughter and chatter creating a vibrant backdrop. The market appeared alive, pulsating with energy, and Emma felt as if she had entered a dream where the past and the present intertwined. The floating market of memories was a marvel of human ingenuity and nature's beauty intertwined. Stalls lined the wooden walkways, each one offering an array of glass bottles, each shimmering under the setting sun. Within each bottle, a memory was captured, swirling with colors and emotions. Some glowed with happiness, while others pulsed with the deep blues and grays of sorrow. Emma marveled at the sight, her heart racing as she absorbed the wonder around her. And Emma felt a magnetic pull toward them. Some were small, delicate, almost fragile, while others were large and ornate, their surfaces etched with intricate designs. She lifted her hand to touch one, a bottle that sparkled with the brightness of laughter, but pulled back, unsure. Memories held power, and she was wary of what she might unleash. As she wandered deeper into the market, she overheard snippets of conversations, tales of heartbreak, joy, loss, and love exchanged between traders and seekers. Each person had come with their burdens, willing to release them for the promise of happiness. Emma's heart ached for those whose stories she could only glimpse, and she felt a deeper connection to the strangers around her, united by their shared experiences of pain and hope. It was not long before Emma found herself standing before a stall, manned by an old woman with eyes that sparkled like the memories she traded. Her hands were deft and gentle as she handled the bottles, her voice soothing as she greeted Emma. "Welcome, child," the old woman said, her voice a gentle whisper amidst the market's hum. "Are you here to trade?" Emma nodded, her fingers brushing against the glass bottles, each one a universe of its own. "I am," she replied, her voice barely audible over the emotions caught in her throat. The woman gestured to a collection of bottles filled with memories of joy, laughter that floated like bubbles, sunshine trapped in liquid form, the scent of roses on a spring breeze. "What do you wish to exchange?" she inquired, her gaze penetrating yet compassionate. Emma hesitated, the weight of her decision heavy in her heart. She reached into her satchel and drew out a small bottle, the memory inside a swirling storm of gray and blue. "This," she said, her voice breaking. "I want to forget this." The old woman took the bottle with a nod of understanding. "Pain is a heavy burden," she murmured, her fingers tracing the bottle's contours. "But every memory has its lesson. Are you sure you wish to part with it?" Emma met her gaze, her eyes reflecting the storm within the bottle. "Yes," she said firmly. "It is time for me to let it go." With a gentle hand, the old woman placed the bottle among others of its kind, a shelf of sorrows, each waiting to be reborn as something new. In its place, she selected a bottle filled with the warm glow of golden light. "Take this," she said, handing it to Emma, a memory of happiness to fill the space left behind. Emma accepted the bottle with trembling hands, holding it close to her heart. As she did, a warmth spread through her, chasing away the shadows that had lingered for so long. She could feel the memory seeping into her soul, its lightness lifting her spirit. It was as if she had been given a key to unlock a door she didn't even know existed within her. As Emma turned to leave, the old woman called after her, "Remember, memories shape who we are, but we can choose which ones we carry with us." Emma nodded, her heart lighter than it had been in years. She made her way back to her boat, the marketplace fading into the distance behind her. As she navigated the waterways, the memory she had traded took root within her, its joy blossoming like a flower in her heart. The sun dipped below the horizon, leaving a trail of stars in its wake. Emma felt a sense of clarity wash over her. She recalled moments of joy she had long buried, a childhood laughter shared with friends, sun-kissed afternoons spent by the river, and the embrace of her grandmother as she spun tales of wonder. Each recollection was a stroke of the brush on the canvas of her life, vibrant and alive. As she floated away from the market, Emma allowed herself to dream. What would her life look like now? What new memories would she create? The possibilities felt endless as she envisioned laughter echoing around her, the warmth of love enveloping her, and adventures waiting just beyond the horizon. As night enveloped the delta, Emma's surroundings transformed. The waters sparkled under the moonlight, reflecting the stars like shards of glass. The gentle lap of waves against her boat became a lullaby, soothing her spirit as she floated further from the market. The air was cool, and she breathed deeply, savoring the moment, feeling the lightness of her heart. Yet, as she navigated through the winding waterways, she realized that the journey home was not just a physical one. It was an exploration of the self, a chance to rediscover who she was without the weight of her past burdens. Emma envisioned herself surrounded by friends, sharing stories and laughter, creating new memories that would weave into the fabric of her life. As she passed under a canopy of trees, their leaves whispering in the night breeze, Emma's thoughts turned to her grandmother. She had often spoken of the importance of memory, how they shaped our identities and our relationships with others. Emma felt a surge of gratitude for the stories her grandmother had shared, for the lessons learned, and for the love that had been a constant source of strength. As Emma journeyed home, she reflected on the lessons she had learned. Memories were not just ghosts of the past. They were the threads that wove the tapestry of her life. By choosing to release her sorrows, she had made room for happiness, for hope, for new beginnings. Each memory, whether joyful or painful, had contributed to the person she was becoming. The memory she carried now was a testament to her resilience, a reminder that while she could not change the past, she could shape her future. With each stroke of the oar, she moved further from the market, yet closer to the life she wished to lead, a life filled with the lightness of joy. She envisioned herself returning to the floating market of memories someday, not just to trade, but to celebrate the journey she had undertaken. As the moonlight danced on the water, Emma felt a sense of belonging wash over her. The world was vast, filled with endless opportunities to create, to connect, and to grow. But she was not defined by her past, but rather by the choices she made in the present. And in that moment of realization, she felt a profound sense of peace. Days turned into weeks, and Emma settled back into her life. Yet, the memory of the floating market lingered in her mind like a sweet melody. One afternoon, while wandering through her village, she stumbled upon a gathering at the community center. Curiosity piqued. She stepped inside to find a group of people sharing their stories, just as she had witnessed at the market. As she listened to their tales of heartache and joy, Emma felt an undeniable connection. It was as though she had stepped back into the market, surrounded by souls seeking understanding and healing. One woman spoke of her struggles with loneliness, while a young man shared his journey of overcoming loss. Emma felt compelled to share her own experience, the transformative visit to the floating market of memories. As she recounted her tale, Emma noticed how the room quieted, the weight of her words resonating with those around her. She described the old woman, the bottles, and the joy she had traded her sorrow for. When she finished, a hush fell over the crowd, and one by one, people began to share their own stories of trading pain for joy, of seeking solace in unexpected places. A sense of camaraderie filled the air, and Emma realized that sharing her experience had not only lightened her heart, but had also created a ripple effect among others. They began to exchange their own memories, some filled with laughter, others tinged with sorrow, but all woven together by the threads of human experience. As Emma continued to engage with the group, she discovered that sharing stories was a powerful way to heal. They formed a circle, each person taking turns to speak, offering their memories like gifts to one another. It was a cathartic experience, one that reminded them of their shared humanity. Emma felt a sense of purpose growing within her. Perhaps she could create a space for others to come together, to share their burdens, and to celebrate the memories that brought them joy. Inspired by the floating market, she envisioned a community gathering where people could trade their stories, transforming their pain into light. With determination in her heart, Emma approached the village council with her idea. She proposed a monthly gathering, a memory market, where villagers could come together to share their experience, create art, and celebrate the bonds formed through their stories. The council embraced her vision, and soon the first memory market was planned. The event was a resounding success. People from all walks of life came together, sharing their tales, laughter, and tears. Emma watched as connections were forged, friendships blossomed, and healing taking place. Each story shared became a thread in the communal tapestry, creating a rich and vibrant fabric of life. As the months passed, the memory market became a beloved tradition in Emma's village. It was a place where people could come to feel seen, heard, and understood. Emma felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey that had led her to this moment. The floating markets of memories had not only transformed her life, but had also ignited a spark in her community. One evening, as Emma stood at the edge of the delta watching the sunset, she reflected on the legacy of the market. She understood that memories had the power to shape not just individual lives, but the collective spirit of a community. Each person carried a unique story, and by sharing those stories, they could create a tapestry of resilience, love, and hope. With a heart full of joy, Emma knew she would return to the floating markets of memories one day. It had opened her eyes to the importance of connection, of embracing both the light and the shadows of life. She would carry the lessons learned into the future, ensuring that the magic of the market lived on in her heart and in the hearts of those she had touched. The floating market of memories continued to thrive, a sanctuary for those seeking to mend their hearts. Its magic lay not only in the memories traded, but in the connections forged, the understanding shared among those who came seeking solace. It was a place where the past could be released and the future embraced with open arms. And so, the legend of the market lived on, a beacon of hope in a world that often forgot the power of memories, both to weigh us down and to lift us up. Emma's journey was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that while memories could shape us, it was the love and connections we cultivated that ultimately defined our lives. In this way, the floating market of memories became a symbol of transformation, a place where every story mattered and every memory had the potential to inspire joy.